Welcome everyone to the JDL Season 2 Group Draw Show. At the start of this season, as announced at the beginning, all players will be separated into four groups of 5. Players will not be playing against these group members, but instead competing with them for playoffs by playing against the other groups. As I said, we have 4 groups of 5, and as you can see, everyone's name has been put on a different shard, which will then be randomized through the dispenser. We will now begin by first drawing the first member of Group 1, which is none other than Lex. Lex will be joining, well, no one so far in Group 1, as we now move on to the first member of Group 2, which is Bushy. Unfortunately, both cannot be here so far. Now, on to our first member of Group 3. We have Andro. Andro will be joining the Kalos division with, well, no one else so far. And lastly, to finalize the last member of our first group of draws, in the Paldea division, we have Guy. And that concludes round 1 with Lex, Bushy, Andro, and Guy all being drawn. Now, on to the next wave of draws. Joining Lex in Group 1, we have Storm. On to Group 2 with Bushy will be Jami. Joining Andro in Group 3 will be Parker. And lastly, concluding round 2, joining Guy in Group 4 will be Nate. This is our groups at the end of round 2. We have Lex and Storm, Bushy and Jami, Andro and Parker, and Guy and Nate. Now we begin round 3. Joining Lex and Storm, we have myself. This is looking very similar to the test draw. Joining Bushy and Jami, we have Ellie. Joining Andro and Parker, we have Violet. This means that Violet, Andro, and Parker will all be competing against each other in their race for playoffs. Violet, Andro, anything you guys want to say to each other?
He DM'd me about 3 minutes ago saying, "I don't want to fight you. Can you be in my group?"
Well, looks like Andrew's gotten his wish. Of course, in the case of a tiebreaker, you guys might have to fight each other. Now, lastly, in Group 4 with Guy and Nate, we have Maggie. Alright. That's the end of round 3. Only 8 players remain and only 8 slots left. Well, obviously, that's how it works. Moving on, the 4th member of Group 1 will be Bacon. Sorry, from my words. The 4th member of Group B will be Zach. The 4th member of Group 3 will be Pokey. The 4th member and the last member of round 4, so the 4th of 4, joining Group 4, will be Hannah. These are the groups going to the last round. We have Lex, Storm, myself, and Bacon. Bushy, Jami, Ellie, and Zach. Andro, Parker, Violet, and Pokey. And Guy, Nate, Maggie, and Hannah. 4 players left. And the final slot in Group 1 will be Leah. The last spot in Group 2 will be Ben. This is quite the kind of a rats group. And then Ellie and Zach. The last spot in Group C will go to Saya. And lastly, in Group D, the final member will be Foe. This concludes the group draw for Season 2 of JDL. To reiterate, our groups are Lex, Storm, myself, Bacon, and Leah, Bushy, Jami, Ellie, Zach, and Ben, Andro, Parker, Violet, Pokey, and Saya, and Guy, Nate, Maggie, Hannah, and Foe. Thank you very much for tuning in. And in about less than half an hour or so, Season 1 will begin, as the schedule will be posted momentarily.